No hyperbole, everybody. This afternoon and evening has been one of the craziest rounds in recent memory. Firstly, Mariong have won the BDSFA Premier League for 2025, making 4 league title wins in a row. The race for second place and that finals buffer has hotted right up, and there's a 2-horse race to clinch that final spot as well. One of those teams that are running for it are playing here tonight. Eastern Creek take on Ponds FC. And with the club championship now also in the hands of Mariong, also a 4th in a row, what matters right now is can Ponds get the points that they need to finish in the top 2, or can Creek instead get all 3 points and pray to the football gods for a top 4 finish and workers dropping points elsewhere? My name is Mark DePoli. Apologies on behalf of the BDSFA for all the rescheduling, but thank you so much to all the Blacktown clubs and their committees for making what is a tough process as smooth sailing as it has been so far. When talking about ponds and league titles and trophies, there aren't many better, if any, better to talk to than Matthew Hubbard. 10 Premier League Grand Finals in a row, 4 of them wins. Thank you for being here, Hubbs. Welcome to a co-commentary gig.
Thank you, Mark. I'm absolutely loving the chance to join you today and talk about the game and some players during the 90 minutes that we're about to witness.
So to those who don't know exactly why you're not featuring out there tonight, you've picked up an injury, but it's not a footballing one. Can you just remind us exactly what happened?
So the short story is I was pruning some trees in front of the BDSFA office with a petrol cutter, and I went to put it down and pretty much have cut my finger off.
Well, that's one way to rule yourself out for the next couple of weeks, but thankfully, from what I've been told, it is back attached. Wishing you all the best in your recovery and hoping to see you in your 11th straight grand final. Let's get into the football stuff right now, by the way. A quick word on your old team Doodside throwing away their title chances 5-0 to Mariong today. That's an absolute pasting. You were there. What do you think went wrong?
Yeah, you could say it's a pasting, but I was there and at 1-0, Doodside pretty much, they did have a lot of ball. They were missing a few key players, but at the end of the day, 5-0 is 5-0. Mariong has won the minor premiership, won the club championship, so congratulations to them once again. But don't write Doodside off yet. It's still early stages. There's final footballs to come with some key players to come back in.
Perfectly well said. Ponds here today, of course, that is your team. Coming up against a team that actually need a win more desperately than you. We've seen the motivation slip for your Rezzies boys. They went down 5-3 in an utterly strange game. They got humbled, as we said, 5-3. But what's been your words to the boys in the sheds heading into this one?
Well, it just shows you it doesn't matter where the opposition is on the table. You take every team like they are top of the table, and if we don't turn up, we'll get our pants pulled down like reserve grade, and we might be on the back of a loss as well.
Certainly could happen. We know that conditions played a massive part in the goals that Creek scored to beat you guys earlier in the season. It was wind back then. Today it might be wind and rain. Are you excited for what might be a wet and wild ride?
All I can say is get your popcorn and your drinks, and you're in for an entertaining match.
You've had a look at the lineups. What do you reckon Pond's biggest strength is with a rotated 11?
We've got a few different changes happening today, but obviously the key to us, going forward is Avery in the midfield. He's got class all about him. We've got Dotty up top. Ibby, probably the next young talent running around in Blacktown. Watch out for him today. I don't know, just we're stacked across the field. Just if we turn up and we want to put in for 90, then we'll be fine.
So just letting everybody know that we are, of course, on high alert for any lightning strikes that are happening within a 30-kilometre radius of the pitch. We keep a very keen eye as we try and keep within safety regulations. I've just seen the refs in the dugout, in the walkout, whatever you want to call it, the Broadway walk. They've actually walked back to the change rooms now, so I wonder if there's just been some final instructions said. I can also tell you that we are observing a minute's silence as well, but I've just had one of the BDSFA office members jump into the office up here and say that, or say some words that I couldn't quite pick up. So there's a chance that this game might be on hold for a little bit, in which case you'll get to hear 2 pairs of dulcet tones for even longer than you first planned, which I think is an honour that results in warrants in leaving a like on the stream, by the way. Matty Hubbard, is this some of the worst rain that you've ever seen come down?
Yes, and I'm very happy I'm not out there playing in this.
Yeah. I think we're just trying to figure out what the voices you might be hearing come through your screens, by the way, is that we're trying to keep our cameras nice and protected. Lots of support coming in for you through the comment section already, by the way. Plenty of people who were pretty proud and honoured to know that you were jumping on. You represent Blacktown very, very well. Antonio Perello, one of them as well. But the young boys, the Marion boys, being very, very open about their 4 in a row securing the tap-in this afternoon against their long-time rivals. We'll go through the lineups in a sec when we see the two teams walking out, but until then, we'll just keep delaying because I'm wondering what's happening here because we're now well past 7 o'clock. Let's just see what the referees decide to do.
There we go.
Are we finally heading out? We've got a referee out on the pitch. Perhaps he might just be assessing the pitch. I just wanted to say as well, the referees today will be led out by Darren Glover, who's returning after 7 weeks tracking the West Indies, the Windies versus Australia in the cricket, which is an inferior sport to the one that you have on your screens here tonight. Stuart Chapman will flank him alongside young referee Caleb Berwick. Good memories with Darren Glover, the referee?
Yeah, he's one of my favourite refs. He lets the game flow, easy going, he's never stressed, and, doesn't matter on the situation. He's just happy to have a smile on his face and continue reffing.
One person I want to talk about who scored the first of Creek's goals when you two teams played last time is Jovan Blagojevic. He's a guy who's played at Spartans. He's the one with the Canadian cross-Serbian accent. He's got a fantastic footballing story. He's actually drafted to play MLS football now 10 years ago. What do you remember about him? He's meant to be playing here tonight. You have, I should say potentially bad memories of coming up against him?
Yeah, last time we played him, he is a natural striker. He will check back and, he wants to get the ball deep and go forward. He did score a cracking header versus last time, but you can definitely tell that he has played at a high level of football, and he is definitely one of the good strikers in the BDSFA competition.
Well said. Let's go through some lineups, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to see these two teams make their way around the semicircle. So we'll start with Ponds, who are trying to vie for that top 2 spot. In goal should be Connor Gilbert in just his second match of the round appearance, just 22 years old, second match of the round appearance. It's an amazing, amazing achievement how quickly he's established himself. His back four in front of him will read Harry Karmas. Nathan Atchison will make his second match of the round appearance himself after an injury-riddled season. Tong Mura will also play his first match of the round since returning to the BDSFA. And I might just interrupt myself because we're about to observe the minute silence. So please join us in that if you could. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and to the family of the Advitsidjiches, whose mother passed away aged 49 this morning, 59, suddenly this morning. That's a heartbreaking story coming out of the Ponds camp, and best wishes, Manny, to you and the rest of the Ponds boys, and to the family who I'm sure will be tuning in at some point. I'm sure they'll appreciate what's been said and the display of togetherness here today. We will continue to go through the rest of Pond's lineup. So once again, Connor Gilbert sits in goal, Harry Karmas left back, Nathan Atchison left-sided centre back. Tong partners him after a couple of weeks spent back home in South Sudan, and Alex Kwok, 4-goal Alex Kwok, by the way, starts at right back. Now, as you said in the intro, by the way, it's going to be a dropped 2 in midfield of a 3-man midfield. It will have Sam De Oliveira next to Aaron Avery, who's the latter of which is competing for a Player of the Year berth, and Nick George, fresh off the back of scoring against his old club, Riverston, will start at the 10. Skur, Dodd and Ibi is the front 3. Ibi Koroma being the first man to go from right back to left wing between match of the round appearances. Fardod Sanjakani going for his 16th goal in 15 games. In his last 71 matches, he's scored 95 goals. He's got 43 goals in 33 BDSFA games. The dude is a phenom. We'll now go through the lineup of Matt Hetrick's Eastern Creek team. Brad Ryder will start in goal. Spud Polinsky joins Tohan Fadlala and Kurt Matcher, as well as Kurt Elbra, who scored the equaliser in the 96th minute in the last match of the round that they featured in against Quakers Hill Juniors. It should be, as far as I'm concerned, Mitchie King at the base of the midfield alongside Ryan McLucky, who I met for the first time today, very, very well-spoken guy. Pius Baraji, formerly of Prospect, will feature, formerly of Premier Spurs as well. Liam Hamilton scored a grand final goal on his birthday 3 years ago. Carlos Ribeiros has only made 3 appearances for this club since also joining from Spurs in the middle of the window, and he's got 2 goals. And the last player is, of course, 7-goal Jovan Blagojevic, who's got off his shift to be here tonight. The doctor, might he bring his stethoscope and put his pulse all over this game? We'll see. We will see. Matty Hubbard and Mark DePoli joining you here tonight live from Blacktown Football Park. We've also got potentially some special guests who might wear green on the weekend joining in at some point in the early couple of minutes of this first half. Leave a like if you're excited for what's to come. Shia Chakal about to join us on the mic as well. Ponds vying for top 2. And, of course, Eastern Creek trying to get their spot in the finals. One of the best teams in the comp. Will they earn the berth of finals football here tonight? Well, they have to rely on other results. And here they are straight away into the box. Ponds not switched on. Atchison with a slide in. And already they've won. Well, they've won actually just a goal kick. But fast start from what is technically the visiting side, Eastern Creek. Shia, I'm going to take off my headset, my friend, and get you to share this because Matty Hubbard's on the mic as well. We don't want to miss anything he says. Firstly, mate, a big handshake to you. Congratulations on securing the title and club championship this afternoon. 5-0 over Doonside, these perennial rivals. Mate, how did that feel?
It felt amazing, actually. We had a good training session on Wednesday night. Is there a goal coming?
It could be as Dodd cuts inside, as their foot puts it over. Back to what you were saying.
Yeah, we had a good training session. Regardless whether the game was on or off, the boys turned up, and when we found out this morning the game's going ahead, the boys were fired up, and we knew what was in stakes to take, minor premiership and club championship. So everyone turned up and did their job, and glad because we got a bye next week, so we didn't really want to rely on any results. But yeah, it was good to secure the club championship.
What was the weather like out there today? I mean, it was absolutely crazy from the photos and the videos that I saw.
Oh, it was crazy. Every 5-10 minutes it was just pouring down. But it was good. It was a good day for football from our end.
Just a quick word on Kelvin Ofori, by the way. The reigning player of the year is probably not going to win it just because he's missed so much football this year. But a performance when he stepped up and he needed to most. Talk to me about your captain, your first-year captain's job that he did today.
Yeah, Kel, we chose him, picked him as a captain for a reason. He's a great player, he's a great leader, and on big moments, big occasions, he always turns up. And just like today, scoring 2 goals. One was from halfway, and the other one was a free kick, his specialty as usual. But in my eyes, I think he's the best midfielder in the competition, no doubt, and possibly up for Player of the Year again this last one.
Well, maybe he should be on form as Ponds come into the box here. It should be a chance for them. Eastern Creek can't clear their line. Skur running in late, cleared away by Kurt Matchett, sent off in his last match of the round appearance. Look, out of these 2 teams here today, Shia, what do you want to see in terms of your Resi's team and who you might play in first grade finals? What's the ideal result for you? Is it a draw, perhaps? For Mario.
Yeah, look, Resi's, we're getting better each week. So hopefully, now that we finished third, I don't think we have a chance of finishing second. We just got to turn up on the big day again and then do our job. And our obviously aim is to make the grand final in both grades. So hopefully.
I'm sure it is. There's a certain rival standing right next to him, Matty Hubbard. You got any words before you potentially meet him in a finals match?
Nah. He's got to fix his finger first before he comes up on the field. Otherwise, he'll get more fingers broken, Nah, look, got big respect for Hubbard. He's a great player. He's one of the best defenders in the comp. Just wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he'll get back on the pitch ASAP because they'll definitely need him out there.
Good guys, Shia. Best of congratulations to you. Hubs, any words for one of your title rivals and potential finals rivals?
I've got 2 questions for Shia. I just want to know, one, where does he rank himself as a goalkeeper in Blacktown?
Oh, look, mate, I had two 90-minute games, one last week and this week, and I've kept 2 clean sheets. So I think maybe a change of position next year, not sure. See how we go.
And the next question is, just let everyone out there know, what does Marion do to other clubs to keep winning Champs of Champions in both grades? What do you do out there to get all this talent?
Oh, good question. Honestly, the first thing we do is create that family vibe. We get players coming in and out every year, and to actually build up a team and to maintain where we aim to go every year, it's not an easy job, but myself, Rob and Kevin, we've been together for a long time now, so we always find a way to come up and turn negative things into positive. So can't really complain about that.
Great matchup with a great sliding and challenge. Fantastic journalism work by Matty Hubbard. He's a multi-skilled athlete. He's obviously got a career in the media coming up when he does decide to one day hang up the boots, which won't be hopefully any day soon. Xiao, we'll let you go and enjoy this match from the comfort of the stands and away from the rain. Congratulations once again on all you guys have done. And well done to Marion and you.
Thank you.
Good stuff there, Hubs.
Trying.
Not just a pretty face. So it's been Ponds that have had the early ascendancy following that very, very early chance that came to Eastern Creek. Aaron Avery so far pulling the strings from the base of the midfield, usually at the top of it. What have you noticed about his performance so far, Hubs?
Well, for people that don't know Avery, bit of background, he was, in his younger days, about to go and trial with Manchester City, and then a bit of visa issues, so then he's played a lot of his soccer here. He was at Sydney FC, very high ranked by Graham Arnold, but obviously he jumped on the Vengda Boy bus and was a party animal. And
Chancey, I might have to interrupt you because Pius Baraji's through on goal. Connor Gilbert's read it really well, and it should be cleared now. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Great chance by Creek on the counter. So crisp.
So, yeah, back to Avery. He was a bit of a party animal, but natural talent. You can tell by the positioning and the ball control he's got. So, hopefully he can take control of this game. But Creek have had a few good chances here.
Could be another one brewing here. Flicked on again by Pius Baraji. Real chance here! And it was smacked straight at the keeper. And that will they'll bring about an offside flag. But what about that bit of a confidence boost that could be for Connor Gilbert?
At the moment, Ponds are lucky Connor's in goals because he saved 2 or 3 great chances here.
Geez, that is not easy. But the former prospect and Gladesville NPL representative is showing all of his rep experience right there. Pius Baraji at the centre of a couple of big things here so far. News coming out of the PL2. The only... Well, actually, I'm going to interrupt myself again here because Jovan Bogojevic nearly picked up his 8th goal of the season. Big news coming out of the PL2. Now, it is currently unconfirmed, but the reports are coming in that Parkley and Oakville have tied in a crazy... Again, I'm telling you, something is in the water today or in the air. A crazy 4-all draw, which, if that is true, we'll keep you up to date, will rule Parkley out of first grade finals contention, meaning the top 4 is settled towards the front post cleared away. It'll be consecutive corners here. Now, we've been told that Eastern Creek are the best set-piece team in the league. They, of course, brought some points back in for themselves in the last match of the round that they played in with that crazy late equaliser. That came from a Liam Spud Polinsky throw. The wind is actually going in their favour here, so Connor Gilbert has to be really sharp with those gloves on because this will be blowing right into his area. Hubs, do you wish you were out getting your head on this one?
No, not in this weather. I'm happy up here with you today.
Very, very much an overhit ball there. It'll just trickle all the way through to a goal kick. Trying to... with the conditions are like this. Hang on, are we about to see a sub?
Eastern Creek, I think.
So what on earth is going on?
Is it?
Is there a player coming off? Well, it looks like Eastern Creek are about to either lose a player or have a player that played in the first couple of minutes of the game come off. And as far as I'm concerned, it might have actually been a reserve grade player who's just played the first couple of minutes, but they have now used a slot, of course, because that's not the exact same lineup that I was given about 5 minutes before we went live. Oh, that was very close. Is that Carlos Ribeiro who's come off? Well, that's huge news. Very, very important moment in the match. If his night is done, that's a huge concern for Creek. He's been prolific in just 3 games. He's got 2 goals.
Ponds seem to just sitting back here and letting Eastern Creek have a little bit of ball. I think we need to start pressing a little bit higher to not let them get out of the back line as easy.
Fascinating start to what could be a really memorable footballing match. De Oliveira puts this one in behind, and here comes one of the fleetest-footed wingers in the entire comp. By all comparisons, killed 21s last year, has come up into first grade, goes from winger to winger, it seems. Is that Kwok who's come up from fullback, I believe? Aaron Avery, central hit to Fardod Sanjakani, looking to try and put that reverse ball through to an on-rushing Alex Kwok in that 8 jersey, I do believe. But eventually they've got away with it, sliding in challenge there.
The first man in Blacktown to wear a headgear, Peter Cech, is doing well at left back.
Harry Karmas unfortunately taken potentially one too many knocks for him to just come into a football match without taking extra precautions. So good on him for leading the way with potentially a fashion statement, but also a safety one too. And good on Harry Karmas for doing that. But Peter Cech, the left back here we do have today. So a first opportunity for me, by the way, since if you happen to remember that Kellyville pre-season match at Bernie Mullane that didn't quite go your way, that was the first time I got to watch Tong Morale. He's now playing centre-back, it seems, after a couple of weeks in South Sudan. So what's one of his best qualities, Matty Hubbard? Because I haven't really got to see him play all that much.
I mean, Shearer obviously could have spoken a bit more if he's still on the mic. He plays, Shearer coaches him at South Sudan, and that's where Tong pretty much plays for them in the African Cup at the end of the year. But, I mean, in the final for them, he played striker, so he kind of can play a few positions. For us, I think his best position is out wide, but with myself and Victor out, we're down some troops at the back, so he's just filling in, hopefully, just for 1 or 2 weeks.
So, word coming in from around the ground from some very helpful people. It looks like it's Eastern Creek's left winger, Carlos Ribeiro. So, yeah, he's the one who's come off, and while we were sort of doing our interviews with the Mariong folk, it looks like he did his hammy 5 minutes into the game. So Carlos Ribeiro has only played a couple of minutes by comparison to everybody else this season, so perhaps not quite match sharp. And these conditions have tested his hamstring. And it looks like his hamstring has come up short. Thanks very much to our scouts helping us here. As that ball's put in flat, was allowed to bounce. That's criminal in the world of football. This one struck towards goal. Bit haphazard here. Might fall kindly to Jovan Blagojevic. But the international marquee couldn't quite wrap his foot around that.
There's a bit of ping pong going on at the moment.
Big shout out, by the way, not only to all the people watching from home, but particularly to the Newbury boys, who I'm pretty sure right now, as far as the video they sent me concerns me, they're cooking up an asado, watching together as a team and a squad right now, which is great. So big shout out to you guys. Enjoy all the good things happening. I know you've got some big games coming up. Best of luck in your promotion hopes. The rain is absolutely pelting down here at Blacktown Football Park. The wind is so strong, we've actually got none coming in the office. But we're about to see one of the longest throws of the season, I'm sure. Liam Polinsky towards the front post. Pond's clear. Big call here for Darren Glover. Just a goal kick he gives. Holy smoke. I'm not sure how much you guys can hear coming through your screens, but it is, and your speakers, but it is pummeling down on these poor players and refs. Forgive us if at some point we do need to shut the doors here. It will impede our vision and probably drop, well, it might drop the quality of the commentary. You never know. We're pretty talented, us too. But if we do have to do it, we do have to do it. Apologies for any background noise you're hearing as well. We do want you to be able to hear. Look at this. Look at the wind affecting this one. Poor Brad Ryder in goal as Pius Baraji went up for that one. It's actually going to be Eastern Creek's ball here from the throw. Kurt Elbra, who, by the way, with 3 goals this season, including 1 in the match of the round against Quakers Juniors, is actually their second top goal scorer. Jovan Blagojevic leads the way. There's absolutely no wonder why Creek struggles so much when the Serbian-Canadian isn't on the team sheet. Formerly of Blacktown Spartans, formerly, of course, then he went to Bankstown City Lions. That was only a couple of years ago. 1 year at each of those clubs, 2023, 2024. Now finds himself at Eastern Creek. We're going to have to probably shut our doors here at Blacktown Football Park because the rain is pelting in and the wind has changed directions too. I can't afford to lose my rather expensive MacBook to my left. Keep your fingers crossed. Ball being delivered in by Kurt Elbert towards that front post, tipped over by Connor Gilbert. So tough in these conditions to read the flight of the ball, but he actually did pretty well there. Hubs, you're under the pump here a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully what the Eastern Creek coach said in his podcast, they're a 45-minute team, and hopefully that's all they put in today in second half. We can get on top.
Have you noticed, I mean, I can't back this up by stats, it's not something that I put any time into, but do you tend to perform better in the first or second halves of games this season?
Good question. At the moment, during the year, we're in and out of games. So we'll have a good 15 minutes, then we're not so good for 10, and then we're back in the game. I don't know. It's just on the day which Pons team turns up.
Pons midfield, who we were talking about colourfully in the opening couple of minutes of the game, have struggled to get on the ball. That being De La Veda, Nick George and Aaron Avery, of course, have struggled to get on the ball ever since we really gave them all that deserved praise. Let's see if they can sort of start to assert themselves again. Nick George, I think, is the one wearing that number 8 jersey, by the way, so keep your eyes on him, fresh from Riverston. Lots of controversy in the transfer and also his involvement in the game against Riverston, but he played and he scored and he was good. Atchison opts to clear. He's the youngest of that sort of Norwest crop that came across. That looks like Tong Fadlala going in a little bit too hard there. Sahan in that number 6 jersey, deputising as a centre-back. He's only 22 years old. He's been at 4 clubs in his last 5 years. 2 separate stints at Workers, but also time spent at Polonia and Newbury, and now at Creek.
Oh, good turn.
Late challenge there, but Ibi Koroma continues to go on, and that ball's put in behind for FSK. Fardod Sanjakani's been blocked off there by Tohan Fadlala. Really well done there by the 22-year-old centre-back. Still Fardod trying to go on, and eventually cleared away by Creek, but geez, his turn of pace is good, Hubs.
Great tackle there. You've got to be happy with that one.
If you're a Creek fan, most certainly. Let's see what Aaron Avery can do as he hugs the sideline. Ball given away. You know, for Aaron Avery to be in Player of the Year contention, it means that you have to stand out in a team that has standout players. For him to be, I will reveal, some 10 votes ahead of second place voter of Pons, which is Sam De La Veda, by the way. That's pretty impressive. So clearly Aaron Avery has been a really welcome inclusion to the competition this year, and they're noticing his quality too. Pius Baraji nearly put Kwok through the fence there, but Kwok is probably the most calm-minded person in the entire division. If he ever loses his head, you know something's gone horrendously wrong. Oh, yeah, so let's have a look back here. We've just been sent the clip. This is Carlos Ribeiro, 4 minutes and 25 seconds, pulling up limp with his hammy there. Noticed it straight away. Obviously, we were a bit distracted here, so apologies for our our lack of attentiveness as Pius Baraji gets it stuck between his feet, and Avery was coming in strong there. How often does Aaron Avery get back and make challenges in his own box?
Not often, because we play him as 10 and we tell him not to come back because we don't want him to get tired. We want to use all his energy in attack.
You know, I don't mean to talk about him too much because you guys have great players. I mean, we had these conversations about the likes of Fardod and Sam De La Veda last year, but when you watch this guy in training, does he do things that make you go, I haven't seen that before?
Yes, he does. He's a freak of a player, but this year, like, I think Semi's probably would be our leading midfielder. Like, he's had a cracker year, Semi. Nothing to take away from Avery, but as Ellie said in the podcast, I think the competition hasn't seen the best of Avery yet, and even himself has said that, you know, there's more to come from him. So hopefully come finals football, we see the best of him.
Yeah, can I just say that's a frightening statement. Whether that's some good media train answers from you or not, well, that's probably an overhit pass. Actually, it looks like it's held up really, really well. The wind might have made that inch perfect by Avery, or if it's just his quality. The inside to inside change of direction there nearly worked for Ibi Koroma, but he couldn't beat 3.
I think the longer the game's gone on here, it looks like Creek's starting to get deeper and deeper, which is starting to help Pons, you know, move forward with the ball. So hopefully that's going to work in our favour here.
Koroma's just been bashed into 50-50. Up he goes, though. Still he goes on. This kid's got some dynamite in his feet. He's just put one of his oppressors on his backside. A little push and shove there. Was there a little kick out on the ground that might have annoyed one of the players of Eastern Creek? I'm wondering if that was the case.
He's a little energetic bunny, Ivy. Like, honestly, he's got that much passion. Doesn't matter if he's on the ball, off the ball. He's just so pumped to play that kid. And he's one to watch in the future. I'm telling you now, by the end of this game, I'll back him to put one away.
Okay. Well, I like the way you think. Ibi Koroma's picked up only 2 goals this year, but obviously he's been deputising out of right back at times. So for him to be among the goals is a good thing, especially in a team that's probably set up to get the best out of your number 9 at all times.
I mean, it's interesting. Dottie's got, he's after that golden boot. Ahmed obviously doesn't play today, so he'll play midweek. So if Dodd doesn't get a goal today, and Ahmed, can score some during the week, that'll be a good finish for the golden boot race.
Alex Kwok cuts back onto his left-hand side. This comes back here towards Sammy De Oliveira, and it's pulled wide. Big chance for the Ponds. Wondering if that was Spud Polinsky just having a little kick out there on Ibi Koroma. Sorry again for the banging that you'll hear and come through the speaker, but it's all we can do when we're competing with Mother Nature here today. Strong header there, won by Atchison, who's got a goal to his name this season. Blake Skur, 2022 Player of the Year. Trying to ride that challenge. He's only scored a couple of goals this year, has Blake Skur. Spent some time overseas, not the only Ponds player to do so. You're probably the only Ponds player that doesn't go on holiday in the middle of the season. Matty Hubbard, is that ball's put in?
Tell the wife, no holidays during soccer season.
You're the last of a dying breed, mate, because every other team seems to suffer from this same issue, and especially the key players.
I mean, even Ben Welsh, where he's a key player to us, he's overseas at the moment. He's one of the scary players of the comp. I mean, last week, Blacktown Workers even said to me that, he's one of the best strikers they've come up against. So to be without him is a big loss for us, but he is back either the first week of the semi or the second week, so he'll be a good inclusion.
Well word there by Kurt Matchett, who's quietly become one of the best defenders in the entire comp. Well, not so quietly if you follow the All-Star race. Blake Skur's won it off here, doing strong against Tohan Fadlala. Skur still going on. Blake Skur! What a save by Brad Ryder, 23-year-old keeper. Stood up really strong there against the former Player of the Year recipient. Here is Fardad Sanjakani, a bit of a nothing ball, competing with the win there too. Skur tried to do it all on his own, and he nearly did it too. Oh, chances are coming. Matty Hubbard, they're not finding the back of the net yet, as Karmas flicks it back to his own keeper.
Can't see this game stay 0-0 for much longer. Everyone at home wants to see goals, so we need something to change here.
Who have you got, can you name drop? Who have you got cheering you on tonight?
Oh, I don't know. There'll be some people out there that might be hammering me right now. I think could be a few people that, are loving the commentary, so hopefully it's that way. They're all loving it at home.
Well, we certainly appreciate your time. I know there are plenty of people who chatted to me about your welcome inclusion onto the mic tonight. There's Tong, usually a winger, occasionally a striker, today a centre-back, dealing with that ball, putting it out for an Eastern Creek throw. Actually a pretty impressive crowd that's got together here at Blacktown Football Park, considering the conditions. Something like 40 mil of rain falling today. Spud Polinsky, I believe, throwing this one into the mixer. Big decision to be made here, corner or goal kick. Because every corner feels like a real chance for Eastern Creek. It will just be a keeper's ball, though. Aaron Avery, first to pick up the ball. Rolls it between his feet. Receives it back there from De Oliveira. Nick George rides the challenge there, then loses out to Ryan McLucky, I do believe. Look at that triangle being formed here, then he sends it out wide. And it might just work here for Ibi Koroma. It's going to be technically a perfect pass by Avery, and that's a bit of trickery right there and precision that you might not see from many other players in the comp. Aaron Avery putting on a show so far with the long passes. Let's see if he can keep it up and perhaps help provide Ponds an opener. Mitch King, he lost out.
Away.
Chance for Nick George. Only played a couple of appearances here for Ponds. Ibi Koroma turned into danger there, but he's quick enough, lightning, to get back with his foot on the ball. Avery has a match of the round goal to his name, but he's tripped over his own feet. Sam De Oliveira, forgive me. Oh, Atchison's missed that one, but luckily the trajectory of the ball was always heading out. but they'll have to play out from a throw-in deep by their own corner flag here, Pons. Not an easy task all the time.
Look at the gap in between where the thrower is right now and the rest of they're all at halfway. It's a big gap opening up here.
Well, that's a big throw. That's Ryan McLucky who leaves it there for Kurt Elbra. This is Mitch King, 29-year-old, sending it out wide. That was misread there by Liam Hamilton. And Hambo tries to cut back inside. The ball has stayed alive. But their momentum, it's just been turned by Tong, but then he's put that right into the wind and Creek win it back, and Avery steps past that challenge well, and now it's a foot race. Kurt Matcher versus Blake Skerr. You back Skerr every time, just outside the box, couple of step overs, cuts back towards goal. Blake Skerr is still trying. On rushing now is Nick George. Matchett sliding in across the face of goal. Tahan Fadlala has all the time in the world to clear this ball. He could have made a cup of tea. But Pons is starting to craft some really nice pieces of football together. Right out of the playbook there. And by the playbook, I mean the walking playbook, being Aaron Avery. Double A batteries. Doing a good job at the base of the midfield.
A lot of the ball going forward is going through Avery here, which is good for Pons.
You've been around long enough to live through the Super League days, the One Division days, the PL2 days now, and in terms of a team coming from essentially nothing, being a team of Penrith-based boys and the PM-based boys coming together, this Eastern Creek lot from PL2 up into PL1 now, I think you'd have to say that they've made a pretty stellar example of how to build a club and turn it within 5 years to be quite competitive, haven't they?
Yes, they've done very well. If you look at it, last year they made the semi-finals. Controversial goal we scored, knocked them out. The year before that, we played them again in a semi-final, and they did score a goal. And then the greatest sportsmanship you'll see in Blacktown history, the guy owned up to a handball before he scored, which we went on to win the game 3-2. I mean, they could have been in 2 finals if you look at it in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say, I mean, I love hyperbole, and I love making a big fuss out of something that isn't always the biggest fuss to make out of, but that show of fair play might be the best that we'll ever see. I think you're exactly right. Eastern Creek left wondering what could have been that year and then the year after as well. They certainly love to have a fun and memorable game against you guys, that's for sure. Aaron Avery now punches it forward right up to the halfway line. Ibi Koroma, formerly of Mariong, by the way. I wonder what kind of ripple effects him leaving Mariong to join Pons will have this year. Might they meet in a final? You never know. Could he score against them, perhaps, in a critical game? Look at Aaron Avery. This is brilliant to watch. He's just danced past 2 or 3, and now he puts an offside Fardod Sanjakani through. Eastern Creek with their foot on the ball for the first time in a little while, it seems. Pius Baraji does pretty well to actually keep that ball in Creek's favour. A swing and a miss. Of course, missing Alexander Murrell, who featured on their first podcast appearance of the year. One of the form players of the comp, one of the best midfielders in the comp. Murrell not available today. 5 yellow cards accrued. Blake Skerr with his left foot. He loves to drive across the mid part of the field and smack it with his left foot. I can't say I remember him too many times finding the back of the net with the weaker side, but I wonder if he was starting off to the left, cutting onto his right, which is his stronger side, if he might find the goal a couple more times. But that run is so effective. Elbra, such a big fan of this guy. He's represented Australia at futsal level. He's come up against the likes of Christoph Kramer, if you believe it or not, who started, of course, in a World Cup final for Germany in 2014. Also up against Djibril Cissé, yes, the one that broke his leg twice on 2 separate occasions. So he's played against some very, very good players. And when you watch the left-back maraud forward into attacking positions, there's a reason why you go, wow, and it's because he's got such great experience.
Oh, he's gone for a chip.
Long shot attempted, and never really challenging anybody other than asking Connor Gilbert to jump over the fence. Don't mind it. Looks like the rain has subdued a little bit here in Rudy Hill.
Switch of sides here from Ibi.
Ooh.
It's come over to the right, it looks like.
Well, let's just turn our attention to what that flash was across your screen just then. That was unquestionably lightning, which makes me think that if we get another one, even though we're only 1/3 of the way through this game, we could be in some serious trouble. Ibi Koroma blocked there by Kurt Elbra. But that was most certainly lightning, and to be honest, I'm wondering why the game hasn't been stopped. Well, hopefully it stays away. But if it happens too many more times, we'll probably have to call early time or delay this game very, very late. Big throw in there by Alex Kwok. Comes back here to the number 47, only second year at the club. And will just be a goal kick for Eastern Creek. It's not been the highest quality game, but when you consider and factor in, of course, Mother Nature's impact on this one, these two teams out here are doing pretty damn well. One of the teams is having to deal with every single pass they put coming up short. The other one's having to deal with the fact that every pass they put is going out for a goal kick because they're running long. We've got a question coming in from Sid Nadira, prospect player, of course. 18-year servant of prospect, in fact. I've been told, unconfirmed though, Sid, but I've been told it's been 4-4, which would rule Parkley out of finals contention in first grade. Right, Eastern Creek with their foot on the ball. Free kick given up there by Darren Glover, and if you know if he blows the whistle, it has to be one. A chance for Eastern Creek to now put a ball into a dangerous area with the wind behind them helping them out. So the key is to underhit this one slightly and hope for the best. Cold night here. I'm sure these players want to keep the intensity nice and high. Tohan Fadlala whipping that one in. It's fallen short of the Yellow Submarines. Should be recycled here through Liam Hamilton, I believe, on that far side. 2 players hit the deck, one in each jersey. Throw-in will be taken quickly, or will it be a free kick? I think it'll be the latter.
I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear there's a game here tomorrow, Mark, if anyone's bored at home with this rain. Riverston is taking on... Not quite sure who they're taking on, but there's a game here at 10 and 12 tomorrow.
Would it not be... I think it's one of the bottom 2 teams, is it not? Is it not?
Oh, Polonia.
I think it might be Polonia, in fact. Yes, and then later in the evening, we're going to welcome Marion and Holroyd in the WPL at 6:30, I do believe, which is an extraordinarily strange kickoff time for the WPL. But when it rains, you have to adjust. So a left-footed ball to be delivered in here by Kurt Elbra. I do believe that should have been a goal. How on earth have every Eastern Creek player at that back stick missed that? And you can see the head-in-hands reaction from everybody else. That should have been a goal. You would have dealt with that just fine, wouldn't you have, Matty Hubbard?
Yes, I would have cleared that one. But Nathan's marshalling the troops out there, so he'll sort them out and won't let that happen again.
As a just-turned 24-year-old centre-back, I do believe. What do you think of good old Acho? Is he the next you?
I can tell you what, you wouldn't want to be in a tackle 50-50 with him, that's for sure.
Ethan Eichen knows all about that. Last season.
Yes, Ethan Eichen, one of the most dangerous strikers in the comp.
He got Acho'd, some might say. And that one challenge. It was a good day for you guys, wasn't it? This might not be. If Mitch King strikes a goal, well, was he taken out of the ball there? Or after he kicked it? Or as he kicked it? None. of those things. But they're going to stop play. Well, he's lost his shoe. What a conundrum.
I'm sure workers are sitting there together as a team watching this one. They're 2 points clear of Eastern Creek at the moment, so a draw here or a win to Eastern Creek can change the table.
Absolutely crazy that Workers' last 2 games are the 2 teams vying to save themselves from relegation. Or the relegation playoff, perhaps you might prefer. Polonia and Tigers. Not in that order, actually, because Tigers have a Quakers Hill derby to finish their season, which is unfortunately not panned out to be the match of the round. But quite literally, you could say that Quakers Hill Juniors have a chance to relegate their geographical rivals, which is such an awesome scenario for the neutral.
I've played against Tigers twice this year. I mean, stranger things have happened, but I definitely cannot see them going down. I mean, with that average age of, 21 in first grade, it's absolutely ridiculous when, myself being 37 and you're playing against 19, 20-year-olds. What the future holds for them kids, if they can stick together, it's bright times ahead of Tigers for that young first grade team.
I think all will be okay if the Tigers do suffer a relegation this year, because that band of brothers will likely stick together. But I think it could even do good things for them if they go down and are tasked with sort of regrouping in the second division. I think they could walk that division just fine with the current state of play. But it could also do really wonderful things if they are to survive it together. Let's see what ends up happening there. I mean, Polonia as well, another club that have been rejuvenated with a lot of former Ponds boys, by the way, the sort of reserve grade team of a couple of years ago.
Half the squad's the Ponds playing his first grade. They're a good bunch of boys, good team as well. They don't deserve to go down. But at the end of the day, if you can't pick up your points, it's your own fault at the end of the day.
Nick George leading the way forward here, forming triangles with his striker. Ooh! Well, Eastern Creek have already suffered through 2 nose breaks this year. They're going to want to hope that Mitch King doesn't become the 3rd. They've got 3 ACL tears and 2 broken noses this season. It's been a strange one for them. Kurt Matchett, who's about to take this free kick, was the first of the 2. The other one happened in the match of the round, if you remember. Ooh, the wind might come into play here. That ball almost pulled up short. Tahan Fadlala. Good footwork there by the tall 22-year-old. Puts that ball forward, misdirected as he looked for Pius Baraji. Now De Elevator on the turn.
You can turn on a dime, Semi.
Lexco wins a free kick here. Just past the halfway line in the attacking end of Pond's pitch. They go to play this one quickly. It's Avery looking for the number 7 of Ponds, Blake Skur.
Peter Check on the ball.
Harry Karmas, for those who have joined us late, donning the headgear here today. Wonder if that might actually lead him to throw himself into more headed challenges. Although, from what I've been told, he actually prefers pushing Kwok in front of him. I'm really yet to see Eastern Creek utilise what should be their best player on paper, which is Jovan Blagojevic. He's had one chance in the opening seconds of the match, which he was offside for, which Connor Gilbert saved. But Jovan, who was an NPL player his entire stint since living in Australia, and prior to that was actually drafted to the Vancouver Whitecaps, the Canadian-based MLS team. He's barely touched the ball, the number 9. Put in by Karmas. Cleared away by Matchett on his weaker left foot. You can tell he had to sort of haphazardly contort his body towards that, but it might have actually worked out okay. And forward come Creek as it searches towards Jovan Blagojevic.
I did say that's the hardest thing Creek find, playing one up front. It is very hard to find the striker's feet, with Pond set up with 2 holding midfielders, so it will be tough for Creek to get him ball if he doesn't check in and, want to receive it. He will be out of the game in that way.
Peter Karmas takes that throw in, and it's picked up here by Nick George. There's a big chance here. That's almost an inch perfect ball, but read even better there by Kurt Elbra. Oh, poor pass back here to Ryan McLucky, and the former Pendle Hill and Winstone man has lost out there, but that's through no fault of his own.
Oh, Ibi.
Oh, look at this by Ibrahim Koroma coming up against Pius Baraji, tracking back at his absolute best. Only 2 goals for Pius this year. FSK sends it out wide. That's a lovely ball, but the offside flag went up straight away. Skur saying, no, sir. That's Caleb Berwick wearing a hat down that far side. Young referee, I believe, still in his teenage years. I don't get dribble stats on referee ages. You obviously come early to games as well. I don't get to watch Rezzies a lot. How good is this Rezzies team that you're able to, lean into should the depth get tested? Are they a real shot for the grand final even after this minor premiership?
To be honest, the Rezzies comp is pretty stacked this year. There's a lot of potential that could be playing first grade. You look at Doonside, for example. They've got Cole Dominici playing in the centre of the park for them. Like, good luck to teams trying to mark him. But yeah, our Ponds teams, pretty much, if you went through it play for play, I think there'd be 5 or 6 that was starting in the Norwest first grade team every week when they made the grand final and the lights went out at Soccer New South Wales and it was deemed a draw. But they are stacked, our reserve grade. But obviously, if they don't turn up like today...
Oh, man, that would have hurt. Wow, that was a colliding of boots. I'm not sure why, and apologies to any French that you might have heard come through the surround sound. I'm not sure why the players are unhappy with that. That was clearly a... don't mind the referee intervention there, because the ball had essentially been cleared away, and Atchison copped it with Jovan Bogojevic kicking basically through the young centre-back. 10 years between those two, but it's the more senior guy that comes away from it all right. Yeah, that was not a nice sound at all. Let's watch this back here on replay. Bounces, the strike happens. Yeah, he just basically cops a Jovan Bogojevic boot into his own ankle. So he's going to take a stint on the sidelines here just to recoup. Ponds temporarily down to 10. That's Eastern Creek never happy with the referees. Eastern Creek never happy. Anyone is with the referees here in Blacktown.
I'm not. So they're back to our reserve. I mean, we even welcome back Mr. 300 club captain
yes.
years, Taylor Hunter, back from Europe. So he's a good pickup for our reserve grade team, and could start straight away in our first grade team. But he's just happy to play wherever he fits in at the moment. But yeah, glad to have him back.
Have you been tracking his social media post, by the way? He's doing the same pose in every city. As another strike of lightning, by the way, flashes across this Rudy Hill skyline. He's clearly enjoyed himself, and he's been doing handstand push-ups the entire time. The dude's a calisthenics freak.
He's a fitness freak. I mean, I spoke to him Friday and he said, I've just finished a 7.5k run.
There's a chance here. Filo Sanjakani has an option to his left.
Nick.
It is, in fact, Nick George!
Oh!
Well, this guy has made a quick impact here at Ponds and a quick impact here in the top 4 race that might just have second place reading Ponds the Lions FC. Nick George has made a run, a deep run from inside his own box, received it off the magical FSK, and he's buried it across the face of the keeper and into the back of the net. This guy has been probably the midway point signing that has taken all of the headlines so far for all the right footballing reasons. What a finish, Hubs.
Just before half-time, that is a coach killer. You do not want to concede right on half-time, but that will definitely lift the Ponds boys now, and we might see some entertaining soccer.
Well, Eastern Creek now have to win, but really they have to win this game if they wanted any chance of making top 4 this year. Now, we saw what a moment of madness on half-time did in their last match of the round against Quakers. They were 1-0 down. They went down to 10 men after a curt match at captain, red card, of course. They came out in the second half swinging punches, and they ended up equalising despite their numerical disadvantage. Bogojevic is in the mix, headed the keeper. Keeper goes down clutching his head. The player has to stop straight away. Detention turns to Connor Gilbert. Hopefully he's okay. He hasn't moved. If someone could check on him. But we really need to see the best of Eastern Creek out here in this second half, because otherwise their season essentially ends tonight. It would have been really great had Mother Nature not intervened if we could have known what Workers and Polonia were up to, or Workers and Tigers, forgive me, were up to today. But that's not to be the case. Well, hopefully Connor's okay. He's back to his feet. We've got a certain Michael Karanicholas, who I assume is related to Pond's WPL representative, saying "Far God assist." So they're comparing the number 9 to a deity, and fair enough. It's another match of the round goal contribution for one of the most prolific in the competition's history, and he's only been here for what is now his second season. Fardod Sanjikani has got 4 match of the round goals to his name, and he's also now got 3 assists to his name as well. When the cameras are on, he's got 7 goals from Hell's live streams, including 1 in a grand final, which was a flying Ibrahimovic-esque bicycle kick, scissor kick, whatever you prefer. Oh. Avery's first misplaced pass of note of maybe the entire night. But yeah, Creek really need to respond. Jovan Blagojevic back here to Liam Hamilton, who's donning this near side touchline at the moment. Blagojevic runs central, gives it back here to Mitchell King. Back out here to Kurt Elborough, who can whip it real well on that left boot of his. But the 30-year-old is being hounded by a couple of Ponds boys. Ibrahim Koroma using all of his right fullback credentials there to defensively contribute, and then given away by Nick George, who was by far and away one of my favourite players. By the way, with that goal, with that goal, he has become your second top goal scorer now by daylight of 2 goals. So he's got 2 for Ponds, 4 for Riverston this season. And now he's only behind Fardod Sanjikani. I wonder if we can catch him up. He's only got the 9 goals left to go this season. He'll have to have a pretty prolific last 3 halves of football, I imagine. I tell you what, though, when I was watching this guy at Riverston even 2 years ago, he was deadly. And seeing him here in a team where, with all due respect, he's got better players around him, I'm quite comfortably happy to say that he's actually standing out here tonight, Nick George.
I mean, to his credit, he's actually, jumped into a starting role because we've lost Taylor in the centre of the park. He's probably been one of our most improved players this year. Coming from virtually played reserve grade all last year and a few games off the bench at left back when my sidekick, Scotty Jackson, couldn't last 90 minutes. Yeah, he's actually been on fire this year, Tay. And, he's out for a week with his hamstring, so we'll welcome him back next week.
That's going to do it for this first half of football. 1 minute and 30 seconds added on, nearly 2 minutes to be exact. Referee Darren Glover calls the teams into the sheds, and hopefully this lightning stays away. By the way, Nick George receiving off of Fardod Sanjikani is the only goal of this first half to talk about. But Maddie, in terms of what that does for the table, considering what Doonside have had done to them today, earlier, that's going to do great things for you guys. That means on the ladder, you have now moved into second place. A quick reaction to that.
Oh, over the moon, stoked. We at the start of the year, with the amount of troops we had out, we did say finishing top 2 was the goal. We knew minor premiership was out of the race, so the boys will be absolutely pumped if we can win this and go on to beat Doonside next week and finish second.
Well, great to have Ryan Pappenhausen, Storm fullback, in our live stream comments. That's a first and potentially last time we'll get to say that, but that's an exciting thing. He's a big fan of the left-back Petr Cech, or should we say Harry Karmas. Again, like you said, you've gone second place on the live ladder. Doonside might be staring down the barrel of coming third in a 2-horse race, a la Tottenham back in the Leicester 15-16 season. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so as we talk about what we expect out of this. We've got some special guests joining us into the second half, if they're happy to brave the rain and the conditions as well. But otherwise, 1-0 thanks to Nick George. Ponds moving to second. See you soon. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Second half about to restart. We've got some Ponds boys coming up for a chat. Joey Yamin, the goalkeeper, as well as Nathan Duval coming up for a little introduction to the Match of the Round live stream. So make sure you have your microphones and your speakers turned on, because we want to be able to introduce these players to you. They've never featured on a podcast before, but they're going to make their live stream debuts. Mark and Matty Hubbard here, covering Eastern Creek, who are currently trailing 1-0 to Nick George of Ponds. Ponds looking to secure second place. Will only need a draw at this rate next week against Dooney to secure that top 2 spot, which is such an exciting thing. Matty Hubbard, let's talk a little bit more about that first half, now that we've had a chance to think about it. Standout performers from the All Boys?
I think Connor made a few vital saves. I think Avery's going well on the ball. I'd like him. He just needs to push on that a little bit more to give us more go forward. Skur's running well at defenders, but I think as well you've got to give it to the one of the Creek fullbacks there. He's performing very well. So I think it's both sides have had a few standout players. There's no one individually that's taken the game by their hands, but I think everyone's doing well for both sides.
Yeah, it's certainly been a good game from both. I can't say that it's necessarily been separated too much by the performances of either of these two. I would say that it's been a game even from first to last, but there's been chances at either ends. What would you want to see your boys Ponds do in order to round out to the 3 points, as Jovan Blagojevic puts one in for Liam Hamilton, and an acute angle and a decent save there by Connor Gilbert in goal?
Simple. I just want another goal. So, you know, the longer the game goes on at 1-0, there's always a chance that Creek sneak one, but you know, 3 points is important here for us today, so I want another goal.
Eastern Creek late goal specialists. Certainly going to be an interesting watch into this second half. Still waiting for our Ponds boys to come and join us for a little interview and chat. Let's see what Eastern Creek can do out of the blocks. They are a better team in the second half, at least in the Match of the Round so far. That one's been put into the car park, though. Freezing cold out there, so these boys have quickly made their way back out of the sheds. There's not too much protection from the conditions in those sheds. I'm sure these two guys just want to keep warm, hence why they're out there running straight away. A chance to come forward. Now Eastern Creek, Pius Baraji.
For the viewers at home, what's your prediction for the second half?
Well, we'd love to see those chats come through on the live. Of course, we keep our eye on the Facebook predominantly. That's where most of the viewers are. So leave those chats in the Facebook live chat. Leave as many as you'd like, as Ibrahim Koroma doing his best to dance around some yellow shirts. They want a corner. They're going to get a corner too. There's been a comment coming in from Corey Joseph, by the way. Can I get you to repeat what he said and respond to that?
The question is, can you comment on Taylor Hunter's fake tan? Well, yeah, I can't comment too much, but the rumour's going around he does use some products to, you know, keep his tan in contact.
Poor ball put in towards the front post, cleared away there, I believe, by Spud Polinsky in the 54 jersey. He's the smartest man on the pitch right now for Eastern Creek, because he's got the undershirt skins on, meaning that his top half is probably warmed up. If I look quickly to my Dribble app as well, keeping in mind, of course, that they've already made a change and used a window. I don't think they've made any changes using the free one at half time, but off of the bench they have Tiago Ribeiro, who's the younger brother of Carlos, who went off in the opening moments of the game. But Braden Keating is probably my man off of the bench. Former Goal of the Week winner, of course, at this very ground it was, by the way. Braden Keating is a player, who was also their top point scorer last year. And there's been a free kick called against the Ponds that Ponds are very unhappy with. But Darren Glover is asserting his decision there with a couple of gestures, saying that it was too much use of the backside, perhaps. I'm not quite sure how that was described. Hamilton tried to send that in forward.
Looks like Dottie's come out with a bit more energy. Maybe he's had his pickle juice at half-time that gets him through 90 minutes each week.
Well, he is a personal trainer, so I'm sure he knows all the tricks of the trade. You know, don't mean to harp on too much about your number 9, but in terms of what you want from a striker, lightning pace, tall frame, strong, he's got a pretty perfect build for the role. Unfortunately, he just loves to miss one-on-ones, according to every Ponds player who's too hard on him. But every time I watch him play, he seems to bag one or two at least. There's only been 3 games this season where he hasn't scored a goal, by the way.
I'd hate to be a defender, and I'd hate to come up against him because he is probably one of the hardest working strikers I've seen for a long time, off the ball, on the ball. He never gives up. He's in the right position. He might not score the one-on-ones, but you've got to look at the work he does off the ball. There's not many strikers in Blacktown that can, give you options on the ball, off the ball, down the wing, left wing, right wing. He's just everywhere. He's an absolute beast.
You wouldn't know what it's like to come up against him because you don't train. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that is kind of true, but I have been a few times this year, I will say that. But last year was my best year. I probably out of, say, 20 sessions, I probably went to at least, 12 to 13. This year, in our defence, we've had a lot of wet weather, a lot of catch-up games. So, training this year hasn't been, one of the key features this year because of how wet the fields have and all the catch-ups. But I will say this bunch of boys this year are the most motivated team I've played with, over the last 5 years. They're after one thing this year, which is exciting.
Just a chance to have a closer look in this second half as well at the left back, or should we say Petr Cech. We'll get to see Harry Karmas with that rocking headgear right underneath our eyes, which is a great privilege for us.
It is pretty funny. He does tell me when I'm playing next to him, scream at me, because with my headgear I cannot hear anything.
Avery clips that one out wide, looking for Ibrahim Koroma, but even the great Avery might have overhit that one, and even the rapid, quick.
That's the issue, I think, Eastern Creek had in the first half too. The wind just takes the ball, so you've got to put a little bit less juice on that through ball for the players to get onto.
Tough challenge to face, but only the opening minutes of this second half. In fact, it's only crossing into minute 50 now. But look at the way that ball is just holding up. Jovan Blagojevic has done well to hold up his man there, but really well done there by Atchison, who's got one back on the man who sunk his boot into his ankle in the latter parts of that first half. Just a quick word, by the way, on your grand final goal scorer last year, and centre-back partner. Injured with a shoulder reconstruction for one of the long-time servants, former St. Pat's representative as well. 2 centre-backs going down in first grade. What's it like being without him as well?
To be honest, Victor's one of the legends of the game you want in your team, honestly. He's just a character. Nothing ever phases the guy. Like, he turns up 5 minutes before kickoff. Training starts at 7:30 till 9, and the bloke turns up 5 minutes before the end of training. But he's still always there. It's a shame he's not going to finish the season, but Victor just, he loves playing for Ponds.
Tell you what, it's not really talked about all that much because, yes, it was a losing game and it wasn't really a pivotal goal in the context of the game. But that header in the grand final, if you are brave enough to watch it back, is the technique and the power behind it is fantastic. Yes, it probably should have been cleared off the line by one of the Dooney boys, but really, really powerful header it was by Victor Leby, and he's a real good guy. I've seen him come here and watch his former team, St. Pat's, a couple of times, and he's quite hilarious to listen to break down a game as the offside flag is raised.
He's at Operation Thursday, and he's in the grandstand here tonight supporting his team, so obviously it means a lot to, the Ponds that he's actually here and he's out cheering us on.
Kind words coming in from Antonio Perello, by the way, you might be able to see here on my computer. He says, "You're a natural, Mr. Matt Hubbard, and you deserve 3 points."
I'll have to vote for him if he's saying that for ref of the year, then if he wants to give me 3 points.
I can actually happily reveal to you, considering that you won't be back until a point where votes won't be counted anymore, as Skur is put in behind. You're on 10 points, by the way. That offside flag has stayed down. Skur now into the box, a long way from the actual net, though. Blake Skur onto his right foot, blocked by the left of one of, I think, Spud Polinsky or Ryan McLucky.
I think everyone watching at home wants a Skur goal just to hear Mark go crazy with the Skur.
Well, he has a really good record against Eastern Creek, coming up with some important goals. He's got a great record here. Scored, speaking of great grand final goals, a great grand final goal of his own that was provided by Mr. 300 himself. That was a great header again. You guys love a header goal in a grand final. We might see one here. Avery puts his head down, gets this ball under control, and Avery strikes towards goal. It's always going wide, though.
I think that's the only way we've scored lately in grand finals, a header, if we go off our track record.
Well, perhaps that voodoo will be broken this year. But, yeah, just as well, you're on 10 votes this year, which means that's, 3 sets of 3 points and then another 1 point, if you like. It's meaning that you're getting a lot of praise from referees and captains and managers from around the ground. So
I'm happy with that at the age of 37 against these young kids. I'll take anything.
I'm sure you will. Is that Stanojevic, by the way, I might be seeing out there in Eastern Creek? I'm not quite sure in the number 3 jersey. As Liam Hamilton cuts across the face of goal, puts that one in, and it should be cleared there by Tong Murawal. Picked up there by Tohan Fadlala. Gets it under control eventually, and then the captain, Spud Polinsky, is out of position, but McLucky, luckily, feels in for him. Back out here towards Spud Polinsky. He's a 2-time match of the round goal scorer himself, but Avery, look at the way he's got that under control. And like a wing wizard that he used to be back in the day, he plays that ball in behind, but the wind is going to come to Eastern Creek's rescue, and the wind might have just kept their top 4 hopes alive, because no way Dottie was missing that. Sammy De Oliveira plays it short and simple to Blake Skur.
I have seen Dottie missed a few one-on-ones this year, so there's a long...
Throw-in attempt. It should be cleaned up here by Eastern Creek. Really good use of the body by Nick George. So impressed with him. Blakey Skur. Blake Skur blocked. And then Pius Baraji's got all the room in the world. This Eastern Creek team at the moment are just sort of lumping it forward. Anywhere will do. It is, in fact, Nicholas Stanojevic who's come off of the bench onto the pitch. So a match of the round debut for the number 3 signed this year. Chance again here for the one-time goal scorer towards the man who provided him with the assist. Stanojevic comes on, the 33-year-old. It's only been 2 starts for him in his debut Eastern Creek season. Not sure why it's been such a stop-start season for him. Either way, Eastern Creek have had to do what they've done so far this season pretty much majorly without the number 3. Let's see what he's all about here. With 45 minutes, well, now around 35 to prove himself. Yet to get an Eastern Creek goal from those 2 starts. Are you desperate for another goal here, or do you back your boys to hold out with a clean sheet?
No, there'll be more goals in this game. I feel one maybe off Tong header here off the corner.
Let's see if the big centre-back can get up at the back stick. Comes in towards the front stick. It's been dropped. Anywhere will do for Creek. Pius Baraji up against Ibrahim Koroma. Sends out wide towards the one-time goal scorer today, and he got that wrong, Nick George. First and only time I'm sure we'll say that about him. Goal kick it'll be. Eastern Creek survive another scare. Really yet to have formed a memorable moment attacking-wise in this second half so far, but still the only moments of it. There could be something coming here. Karmas with his headgear wins it out of the sky. Karmas has read that one too. He's actually a marathon runner by trade, Harry Karmas. He's an incredibly fit kind of guy. Keeps his body very much in check, as most fullbacks do in this league. Some of the hardest working players positionally in those fullbacks. Might we see a change coming here, or are we just waiting for something from the referee? No, exactly, it's going to be taken here. So the long throw-in specialists, he actually predicted in the podcast that he would be scoring a long throw, or scoring off of it, as Koroma gets away from his oppressor with real ease, and off he goes, being tracked. Fidot Sanjakani is a little wayward from goal, but I'm sure he can clip it back towards Nick George. Can he provide him again? Blocked. Lightning counter-attack by your boys, Hubs.
There's just not enough numbers in the box. We went that quick. We couldn't get forward to help Dottie out that cross. There's only Nick at the back stick, so... But I'm loving the go forward now from the Ponds boys.
When was your last goal, by the way?
I don't know if it was Cotton Cup, maybe 2 years ago. We got to penalty shootout, and my fellow stopper, Breno, that's the dinosaur of the league back then, it was up to me or him to take a penalty, and we fought for 5 minutes over who was going to take it to tie the game. I ended up going up, scoring, they missed, and then he scored the winner.
Indeed he did. Brendan Sullivan, I think he's like 46 or 7 years old now. As this ball comes in, it's cleared off the line there. Never really looked like going in, but the clearance did have to be made. Brendan Salama, still being a Premier League player into his early 40s, is probably not talked about enough. You know, what a trooper and a fighter he was. I still remember that day up against Rydalmere's club team in the Cup. Under control out of the sky there, Alex Kwok, an unsung hero, I think. of this Ponds side. Tom living a little dangerously, and here comes Liam Hamilton. This to rescue their finals hopes. Oh, he's missed it. That is a crazy moment. Oh my word. Well, we've got Scotty Young, one-time All-Star appearance maker, and of course one of the coaching staff members, to jump on the mic here and just react in real time to that. Scotty, we'll share this mic here. Welcome back after a couple of years, but what a moment in the match of the round. Sorry that you had to witness that and jump on live.
yeah, unlucky there from Liam, mate. He should be finishing those, but I'm sure he'll get another opportunity towards the end of the game, I'm sure.
Good to have you back on, man. You enjoying those 35 days at the moment?
Yeah, I am, mate. Friday nights, under the lights, got all the old boys, so it's good. A lot of ex-players from Eastern Creek actually playing there now. Michael Ao, Brian Sohn, Daniel Ao, Grub, myself. It's good. It's going good.
Of course, Brian Sohn, as this ball comes in, not just a panel beater, is he? And he's obviously a multiple-time match of the round goal scorer. Look, it's great to have you back on. How have you enjoyed being part of the squad in this new era with all these new faces?
Yeah, it's been good. To be fair, I've been away for work quite a fair bit this season, so I'm trying to get down when I can to help the boys. But it's good. There's a lot of, Mitch King coming in is a massive help, bringing Jovan in as well. So, look, the team's really good. It's just unfortunately we've just lost some games this season that probably should have won, but that's football. But yeah, really good group of guys, and looking forward to what next year's to bring.
Yeah, I think you guys are the victims of the final series format changing with 5 teams becoming 4. A couple of games that were really strange. Like obviously you beat Ponds in the first fixture between you two. That was another day where the elements were involved. But there's a really late challenge there that probably should render the first yellow card of the day. Dottie's going to be all right, but certainly a painful one. But there's still lots to be proud of from this Eastern Creek team if the team is to miss out on finals. But let's not be too pessimistic towards you guys just yet. But again, you said Mitch King, but talk to me about some of the other boys that have impressed you this year.
Oh, look, I could go even down into reserve grade as well, like even the 21s. A lot of boys stepping up, getting a lot better, playing some good football. Obviously, Kingy bringing Jovan in, like he's absolutely sublime. But everyone on the park right now has been sensational all year, so can't complain, mate.
We're actually just talking about, Hubs and I were just talking about earlier in the game about how far you guys have come in such a short amount of time. You guys weren't a Premier League entity. You then bring a bunch of boys across from the mountains. You guys enjoy probably the slightly warmer conditions in the winter, and you thrive, you get promoted, and now you're here. Scotty, I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the game. Not needing to worry about what you say on the mic, but thanks for reintroducing yourself back to the comp. It's been a while since we had you on a broadcast of any kind. It's a pleasure to have you back among the ranks, mate.
I appreciate it. Thank you, mate.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. Absolute superstar, Scotty William Young. And as far as I'm concerned as well, he can bang a drum pretty well too. Booked out for a long, long time. Shout out to Smith and Young. You can listen to them on YouTube. And you can listen to them on Spotify too. Booked out for the next 6 months, he's told me. And no one better in the business. Not just a pretty face. Not sure how much you know of Scotty Young. I know that you're pretty aware of Brian Sohn, by the way. What a player he was in his absolute heyday. As Fardod has beaten the offside flag here, there's a chance to secure that top 2 spot right now. He's hashed it.
I played my younger years in rep soccer with Brian over at High Dock Wanderers as well. He's 18 or was it 16 playing first grade, so he's a talent, that guy.
He scored a couple of really, really awesome match of the round goals. Has Brian Andrew Sohn, and that group of Mountaineer boys that came to Creek really quickly established themselves as one of the most liked sets of boys in the comp. And this great crop that's sort of mixed in with that OG group and these new boys that have come in the last 2-1 seasons is also been some real head turners for all the right reasons. And what they've done in the last couple of years, performance-wise with the ball, has been good to watch. There's a couple of players warming up in Creek colours, it does seem.
I wonder how long it is before Ellie goes to his bench at 1-0. Does he keep the same team or does he look for a fresh player?
Well, who's the fresh player of your choice, my friend? I know that you're having a quick look.
Taylor Hunter's pretty fresh. He's been running 10Ks over in England.
Penalty! Has to be a penalty! Penalty it is! Straight away called by Darren Glover, who's actually not an easy man to win a penalty off. An outstretched leg there came to the undoing of Pons. And now everybody looks at the table quickly because we're about to be most likely at 1-1. Eastern Creek have turned it on in the second half. Look at this good work here. Couple of step-overs cutting back. It was Atchison who leant in. He put his hands up straight away. Not I, sir. But it was, in fact, him, sir. And now it'll be Jovan Blagojevic. Jovan Blagojevic, 34 years old. Recently played in the NPO World through Bankstown and Spartans. Was signed and drafted by Vancouver Whitecaps as a 23-year-old. Bang! Into the back of the net. And if you want anyone to be taking a penalty, it's the Canadian international. And the doctor has just soothed tensions around here. And they have some 25 minutes now to bring their finals hopes back to life. He runs that ball back to the halfway line. Pons and Creek tied one apiece. And I tell you what, after that Tong mishap a couple of minutes prior before we got Scotty on the mic, that looked like it had actually been coming. Where has this Creek resurgence come from? This is what they do every time against you guys, it seems, Matty.
It's every time we play them at the moment, we go up and they fight back. They never go up, this team, but hopefully Pons, click into gear now and we find that second goal and take the lead, because at the moment Doonside's rubbing their hands together now because they've gone back to sitting in second spot.
Yeah, certainly they will. And what that finals buffer could mean, what the ripple effects of that could be great. We'll talk to you in a minute about what missing a week of finals could mean. There's a bit of claim for handball here. Dodds put his head to his hands. Just while we have a bit of a downtime, are you a fan of the winning the 1v2 in the first week and then having a break from finals, or is that not your kind of forte?
I think that's been just set in Blacktown for the last kind of 10 years I've played in the Premier League. But I think if you come first, you should get a second chance if you lose that game. I don't think it's fair if you finish the whole season as the best team, you get knocked out after the first game.
Well called, my friend. That ball eventually was overhit. Rain's starting to come back down here, by the way.
In saying that, the junior football, there'll be some unhappy people out there, because this year, I think with all the rain, they've gone to 1v4, 2v3. So in all the junior leagues, it's going to be interesting for the young kids.
There are also going to be some groundsmen and women who are going to be tested by the fact that I think between 1 to 2 Premier League games might have to happen in midweek this week before Saturday. There could be some teams that play multiple games, even 3 games in the next 7 days. If it has to be done, it has to be done. Let's see how tomorrow fares and how the grounds dry up. Atchison, who gave away that penalty. The game is tied at 1-1. Creek look like they've got a bit of a spring in their step now. The subs didn't really make the difference. I think Pons just took their foot off the gas a little bit as Karma sends that one forward. It might bounce kindly here. Oh, Dodd just overran by the fact that Brad Ryder was there in goal. Living a little bit dangerously. There's Andrew Cotton. Very big, powerful defensive midfielder, Andrew Cotton, into his first year at the club. It's only his 3rd first-grade start, by the way. And now he's going to have to track back and cover this, because here comes Blake Skur, flash of lightning. Got past Andrew Cotton. Blake Skur now still onto his left foot. Goes to lay it off to Fardod Sanjakani. Can he cut this towards goal? Leaves it for Ibrahim Koroma. Koroma still. Pons restore their lead through one of the best talents in the entire division. Ibrahim Koroma blows a kiss to the camera and maybe blows a kiss to Doonside as well. They've just taken ascendancy back over their rivals. And Ibrahim Koroma's 3rd goal of the season for the number 3 is Pond's most important of the year, no doubt. Matty Hubbard, what a finish from the 22-year-old.
I did give all the viewers out there the tip that he will score a goal today. He's a talent, that kid.
Well, a scream, a blood-curdling scream just came across Blacktown Football Park here, because Eastern Creek were ready to start the game straight away. Ibrahim Koroma, when you watch this game back, you have an absolutely perfect view of your strike just then, my boy. That is a wonderful, wonderful goal. I find it crazy to think that now at age 24, I'm calling 22-year-olds young, but hey, that's the way the world works, isn't it? Free kick against Pons here.
Dangerous times here with this free kick.
Let's have another look back at that goal, by the way. That was... Let's look at this. Cuts back. That's really lovely.
As a defender, you do not want to, you know, let Ibby dribble at all. Otherwise, goodbye. Goodbye. He'll go straight past you every single time.
A reminder, please, to those watching along right now, do remember to leave a like on the stream. It lets us know that you're enjoying not just the game, but the coverage and the way it's delivered as well. If you're enjoying the effort that Matty Hubbard's put in to being prepared for tonight, a like is something he would appreciate. I'd probably appreciate it a little bit more, to be fair. But, hey, a like is what we want. And an entertaining game is what you're getting. And you're about to see Kurt Elbra, Futsal Roos representative Kurt Elbra, stand over this. 3 goals this season, 3 goals in history in the match of the round. If he's about to make it 4 match of the round goals, it's going to have to be his best ever. Left-footed Kurt Elbra. Eastern Creek absolutely desperate for a goal. They need 2. It's Kurt Elbra. It's well over. 2-1 to the Pons.
Yeah, never really challenging. Connor Gilbert in goal, was he?
Sub there made by Eastern Creek.
Well, we'll alert you to who that is in due course. So Spud Polinsky, the captain, goes off. So he actually went off after 69 minutes against you guys when you first met earlier in the season. And now Tiago Ribeiro, the younger kin of Carlos, who went off after, 7 minutes or so, has now come on. Tiago Ribeiro, welcome to the match of the round. Your job is to rescue 2 goals against one of the grand final favourites in Pons. And the rain's coming down hard.
There you go. We almost like a corner here when Skur throws this in. He throws it that far.
Well, Spud Polinsky's gone off. He's the main throw-in taker for the opposition. Pons now, through Blake Skur, are going to show what they're all about and what they can do. Look at that. And that's against the wind too. In it goes. It's bouncing around. Eastern Creek are currently sitting dormant on their feet. It's been picked off here by Aaron Avery. And it's wide. Here was trouble. You were right. We're going to have to shut our screens here yet once again. The rain coming down hard. Probably won't stay for very long. Picked up there well by Tong Mural. And then he wins it back at the second time of asking. This is the man who's got the match-winning goal to his name. Cuts back past Stanojevic. Number 3 on number 3. He's met 2 of them at once, it seems. De Oliveira, back to Ibrahim Koroma. Puts his head down and charges a goal. Now into the box. Cuts towards the byline. Koroma back onto his right. Ibrahim Koroma! Great block. Eastern Creek survive, but they still need 2 goals here tonight. This kid is dynamite. Matty Hubbard.
I would hate to be a defender. I'm telling you now. I'd hate it.
Little slice of history, by the way. I forgot to mention that when he scored, Jovan Blagojevic becomes the first person to score in a live stream for both the All-Stars, or I should say against the All-Stars, and now for an All-Star rep team as that chance goes over. So he's now scored in a BSFA match of the round, and he's scored against the All-Stars. He becomes the first person to ever do that. You might remember back in the PL2 days when he just first signed for Spartans, he came off a plane, jumped straight into the match, and Spartans won that game 3-2. An absolutely incredible game it was. The first ever year of All-Stars. He scored what proved to be the winning goal off a near-post flicked-on header. And now with his goal here tonight, he also scores and could become an All-Star should he rack up enough votes and impress whichever coach wins it. So a little piece of history for you there. Ball put it across the face of goal, coming out here towards Aaron Avery. Finals probably out of the question now, thanks to Aaron Avery's second consecutive match of the round goal. One of the Player of the Year contenders has just put in a really good case to win the thing himself. Eastern Creek now need 3, and Aaron Avery's 4th of the season has just taken this game probably away from them now. That is what Aaron Avery is all about, Matty Hubbard. What a strike.
As the boys call him, the nugget of the team. That was a good strike, but as I've warned, he's starting to get better and better each week now.
It's a good strike. It does take a wicked deflection off of Stanojevic, I do believe. Either way, that is most likely now Eastern Creek out of finals.
Can't rule anything out yet. Quakers Tigers did beat Workers last time 4-0, so they could do the double on them this year, which keeps Creek in it for the last game of the year.
It would, and Creek's last game is what some may call a dead rubber fixture because it's against Rivo, who are competing for nothing. They're safe. They can't make finals. So what are they playing for? Pride?
Yeah, we played them last week, and you know they're a good team, well structured. They're down a lot of troops, but you know they don't give up, and they've said that you know it doesn't matter if they're out, they want to keep playing and you know finish the season on a high. So it'll be tough.
Well, if the scoreline wasn't enough to frustrate Eastern Creek fans, I'm sure the rain and the severity at which it's falling down, the wind too, probably isn't much fun either. But if anything makes you feel better, I can actually put a tick next to my prediction for them this year, which was that I said that they'd finish just a little bit outside the finals, which I think they now probably will, unless something quite incredible happens next week. So put that on my LinkedIn next week, I will, I think. I just want to talk about this man right here who just won that header back on the ball now, Liam Hamilton. He had a massive chance to make it 1-1 before that penalty. If he'd have scored that, could this have been a different game? Well, there's no guarantees, but it most certainly could have.
It is a game of chances, but of course, when a player misses a one-on-one, you can't put full blame to him. He got in the right position. One-on-ones are just, you know, on your day you'll get one, you'll miss one, but there's a lot of other errors in the game no one ever looks at, but we always point the finger at the person that misses a chance, so it is tough on him.
Spoken like a captain there.
I'd never get that high, so I can't say.
Well, the rain stopped here at Blacktown Football Park and Rudy Hill. Atchison wins a free kick there. Pond's job is to see this game out. Are there any players, besides obviously Taylor Hunter, who you'd want to see Pons bring on to get some first grade minutes in their legs off the top of your head?
Well, mostly, they've pretty much all played maybe 90 minutes or close to it in reserve grade. Squad depth at the moment is pretty thin with a lot of players out. I mean, myself, Victor, Benny Welsh, like we only just got Tong back, we just got Skur back from South Africa, so it's important that the boys out there try and get as many minutes into their legs as possible going into finals. But, I mean, having Taylor Hunter just come back from overseas, and as Corey says, he's working on his tan over there. I don't know how sunny it was in England, but it'd be good for him to get at least 10 minutes now to get some, you know, fitness into his legs as well.
I think so too. I think it'd be a good moment for the captain's armband to be handed over to Mr. 300 Club. He becomes one of a very small number of players to have ticked that achievement off as Aaron Avery hits the deck real hard, but he got the pass off. And if Skur gets something on this, it'll go down as an accurate pass. It will be a throw-in for the yellow of Eastern Creek.
He must be enjoying his football today, Avery, because I've never seen him run this much this season. So,
well, I think when it counts, the big players step up, right? And that's what he has done today. And he was tasked with playing out of position in the number 6. And he's played pretty darn well, if I do say so myself.
Oh, here we go. He's making a substitution here. Oh, as this man himself, it looks like it could be Taylor Hunter.
So Nick George is going to come off. Picked up the first goal of the day. Summer signing, you might say, for those British football fans, but realistically we call them winter signings here in Australia. He has been one of the winter signings of the season. And on comes, we think, at least,
it is
Mr. 300 Club, Taylor Hunter.
Here's Avery.
Chance to get the back stick. And he probably should have had another goal to his name this season. Only gone with the dot next to his name on 3 occasions. He's got more goals than games played.
It must be tough for Mr. 300 to come out there in them pouring rain conditions sitting on the bench for 80 minutes.
I think he just loves it, you know. For him to have gone from playing striker to winger to 10 to now, I think he's going to come on the pitch in the number 14 as a number 6. He must just love it and love this club. Great to have you back, Taylor Hunter. You're about to be called upon here to press Eastern Creek out of possession. Well, one there by Elbra. Great feat there by Pius Baraji, who won that penalty, of course, but he stepped on his heels there, Aaron Avery. Here's Taylor Hunter's first touch in the match of the round this season, and it could turn out to be a true cherry on top moment. Ibrahim Koroma, so quick. Actually well defended in the end by Tohan Fadlala.
That's a good battle between them two all day today.
Someone's down here for Eastern Creek as well, Pius Baraji. 2 match of the round goals to his name this year. Forgive me, this stint at this club. Both of them picked up last year. Only 2 goals to his name this year. I'm not sure why he hasn't been as often among the goals, Pius Baraji. Last season he picked up 12, including that all-important finals goal as Atchison rose highest. Easily claims the 3rd time of asking there, Brad Ryder. Been a quiet second half other than the penalty for Connor Gilbert, your goalkeeper. Good little drop ball here towards Jovan Blagojevic, picked up there by Taylor Hunter. Harry Karmas back towards Tong. Stanojevic. Andrew Cotton now. Off the back of Blake Skur, won back then by Blake Skur. Swing and a miss. Good work there, Aaron Avery.
You will not win a 50-50 with Avery at all.
He is proper solid with what I can only imagine is some world-class core strength, Aaron Avery.
Gone to a bit of kick and chase at the moment here.
Yeah. Sometimes Eastern Creek can fall a little victim to it, but they're struggling to really get any kind of possession due to this incredibly composed Ponds midfield, which is just humming, purring around, if you like. 3-1 in their favour, all going well for them. So, you're a referee today. Who do you give 3 points to?
At the moment, obviously, probably Avery's leading the race for 3 points today. He scored a goal. He set up a goal. Like, he's done well. I mean, Ibby would be very close as well. Like, it'd be tight between them two. Be interesting if some of the viewers out there post on who they think would be man of the match. We could see who everyone agrees on that way.
We can certainly run a poll. I'd like to say as well that despite all the fun that we've had with it, I actually think Harry Karmas has been pretty well composed at left back. So has the right full back, Alex Kwok. Nothing has really come down the wings all game. The chances that Creek have made have been through the central parts, and I mean no disrespect to Nathan Atchison, I should say, and Tong, but that's where the chances came, and it was Atcho that gave away that pen, but the fullbacks have been real solid, and I think as well, Ibby's been very good. Ibby's been very, very good. Obviously, his match-winning goal will come to boot and stick easily in the memory, but a lot of Ponds. I mean, we haven't even mentioned the likes of Sammy De Elevator, for example.
As I said, he's probably one of our, our main, probably in our top 3 players of the year, but Quocky's one of the most underrated players in the competition, I would think. Right back, left back, stopper, left back, right back. Good luck. He'll win a header over every single player. Doesn't stop for 90. I mean, pre-season, him and his mate for charity were, doing 20k a day. Like, good luck trying to keep up with him. Incredible. And in his side part, he's I could track down his Instagram, but he's one of probably the best drawers going around that you'll meet. So if Mark would get that up on a post and everyone could check out his Instagram, he's a hell of a drawer.
Well, we could certainly do that on the next podcast if it comes to mind. I will park that hopefully in the memory bank as Avery went for the exquisite. Easily read there by Elba in the end. I think it is, in fact, the number 4, Aaron Chivers, who's come on only 1 goal in his last 4 years, but they're going to ask him to do something spectacular and try and rescue their season. They need 3 goals very quickly. Liam Hamilton scuffs the shot, cleared away. They're asking for a foul. They're going to get it. Hamilton might have injured himself here in the process. Some comments coming in from some of those former sort of first-year OG Creek boys that are looking for a quote-unquote Kurt Matchett a red card. That's quite hilarious from former Creek captain Mick Ayo. And we're having a look here at the Alex Kwok drawings, which has just triggered a memory. Yes, I have seen this page before. He does some incredible stuff. I remember reading that he spent over 100 hours on one of them actually as well. So
yes, he's drawn a lot of famous people, and he's got a lot of famous signatures along the way, including overseas players, Real Madrid players, you name it. So his drawings are pretty amazing.
Fantastic stuff. Good on you. abk.illustrations. Let's have a look at this free kick delivery here. It's exactly the same as Kurt Elba as before, but this time it was Andrew Cotton standing over it. I think if I had to pick on some Eastern Creek players that have been impressive, I think obviously Jovan Blagojevic's well-taken penalty has to be talked about. He's not really put a foot wrong besides that, but I think Ryan McLucky in the 34 jersey in midfield has done his best to try and keep up with the quality of Pons players around him, but I think Tohan Fadlala at the back has been impressive as well. We're going to see the end of the night for Ibrahim Koroma. Match-winning goal to his name, the number 3, the 22-year-old, off the back of a stellar season last year in Marion's 21s, a grand final winner and league winner, of course. He's now one of the first names on a Pons team sheet at just 22 with the plethora of stars around him. Pons go to their bench and they bring on, in fact, Jaden Page. So it's a match of the round debut for Jaden Page. A new name to add to the list of match of the round players. Must be in the thousands now, I'm sure. Can't say I'm too familiar with Jaden Page, but in his photo, he's wearing a BSFA AYL jersey, so he must be a young player who's made the step up into Premier League football. That's awesome to see. We love to see the AYL well represented. Bit of a nothing ball delivered.
I'm pretty sure he plays in our 21s, I'd guess. And also, looks like Peter Check's been taken off.
Yes, Harry Karmas has come off, and I think that might be Tim Hilton that's come on at left back. We'll see if he's wearing the 45 jersey. It does look like Tim Hilton at least, a former ropes crossing man. Has actually got a match of the round goal to his name, does Timothy? On the bench as well is Jacob Narloos, who is the, I believe, second cousin of Will Narloos, who featured on one of our recent podcasts and also plays for Town Rangers in the Premier League too.
Which he scored 3 goals in reserve grade today, I think, as well. Or 2 goals. One of whatever's, I think it was 3.
Well, a hat-trick on a losing day is a cruel match ball to take home. 4 minutes left to go in a game that probably can't promise too much added on time. It has not been, unless something dramatic happens in the next couple of minutes, it's not been a game that recent fixtures between these two has necessarily lived up to, but we did have some incredible goals scored, and the better team on paper is probably going to come away with 3 points here.
Nugget.
Aaron Avery, pulled wide of the left-hand side uprights. So it is Tim Hilton at left back, an entirely new left flank for the Pons to round out this game. That's Jovan Blagojevich there. De Oliveira.
He's very calm in the middle, Sammy.
You know, the only reason I really want to talk about De Oliveira right now is because I play as a number 6 in my all-age men's 7 division, and I never really get
He's a
any
chance
kind
here.
of plaudits.
The De Oliveira is a real stellar footballing player. As this comes towards Aaron Avery, who strikes at goal again. Handball is the claim. Avery still. Oh, it's come back to Avery, and now it's finally cleared away. How on earth have Eastern Creek survived that? Shake of the hands between a couple of the boys there who are involved in a couple of big 50-50s. Creek out on their feet. Pond's the one who is standing tallest right now. Look at this. Avery struck, blocked, struck again, blocked. Good save there by Brad Ryder. Good keeper, isn't he? And cleared away. Ponds will have a De Oliveira corner to come. It's a good ball. Kwok was rising highest, I think. Kwok scored a couple of headers across his 2 years here at the club, hasn't he? He's got a real good leap on him.
For a little guy, I don't know how he gets so high and jump over defenders. I got one for the viewers at home. We want Mark's prediction now, leading the semi-finals, who will win PL2, and his prediction for PL1 champions.
My promotion favourites for PL2?
You just name everything. Give the viewers something.
Okay. I predicted Oakville and Town Rangers to go up. I think Town Rangers, it will obviously depend on their game against Minchinbury, which will be happening tomorrow. But I think Town Rangers have still got the squad to do it. So I'm going to stick by my early season, my pre-season prediction, and just for the sake of continuity. Do I think that they will go on to win the final? I think Minchinbury could go on and win the final. It depends how good Manan Deep, Newbury's super striker, comes back into form after his big suspension, I think, as Connor Gilbert. He is a funny character. So, yeah, I'll stick with my pre-season prediction of Town Rangers going up automatically. The playoff place, I think, should go to Newbury. If I was to go then to the champions, that requires a finals prediction ahead of time. Well, it's hard to look past the team that has been the best 4 years in a row for me. I mean, I said Marion would win the league. They have now won the league. On their day, I mean, I would have said prior to this round that the Ponds were the best team on their day, but, I mean, look